Hey, this is part 5 in my flatbed trailer rebuild. We're going to finish the project today. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I'm doing a backyard mechanic series on turning this old RV chassis that I got for free into a usable flatbed trailer for like hauling hay or riding lawnmowers or what have you. So I'm almost to the tail end of this project. This is part 5 in the series, and today I plan on just finishing the wiring, attaching the lights, attaching the brakes, my plugs that couple with the vehicles, and also installing the deck board and finishing the trim. I can't put the front trim on until the deck board's on. There's a reason why. So let's get busy. Okay, this particular light has a license plate light, the tail lights, directional lights, and then the side clearance light. So we're going to make sure it's mounted here with the clearance light on the side. So we put our stubs in that I measured for. And I got this hole for the wiring. And we attach our nuts. And we tighten it down with a 13/32 is what I found that fits. And that tail light is installed. Now we just got to install that tail light. I took masking tape and put it on the back of the light and made a template so I know where to drill the holes. Okay, I got the two tail lights wired in. And then I'm going to move forward on the trailer and we're going to do the brakes next. And last, we're going to do the clearance lights on the front corners, the amber clearance lights. But I need to do those last, after I put the deck on because, well, I have a reason. I have to do things in a methodical order. So let's get the brakes installed. I purchased some new lugs to be able to attach to the ends of the wires so they'll connect appropriately to the posts on the wheel hub for activating the brakes. So let's get the wires cut, stripped, and crimped on these posts and get them attached to the brakes. Before I can install features on the front, which are the corner marker lights, the tie-down hooks, and then bolting this front guard on, is I have to put my deck on first, and then this front parcel, all the pieces on the front, is the last to go on. So let's get the decking boards in place and get those drilled and bolted down. Okay, I need a plate big enough to attach my clearance light on, so I'm using this residual plate that I cut out from creating the supports for the fenders. So we're just going to utilize what I have. We're going to bolt this to the frame right about here, and we'll put these things right here on the side. And now it's time to work on the coupler of the trailer and mainly the wiring. We're going to be attaching this coupler, or it's not a coupler, it's the plug for the, which includes the brake system, the right tail light, the left tail light, the brake lights, the running lights, and the brakes. And this middle piece right there is, if you opt, you can have backup lights, but we're not using this because this trailer is not going to have backup lights. So I'll show you how I install this, but I'm going to keep two features on the coupler of this trailer. This coupler is the one that came with the wiring harness and the tail lights. We're going to keep this because this fits a receptacle on the Subaru Forester, but that's not equipped with braking system. My Chevy 1-ton dually is the only vehicle I have on the property right now that accesses the braking system, the electric braking system for the trailer. So it depends on the weight of the load, will depend on which vehicle I will use to tow this trailer. So let's get that other plug, this one, installed. Fortunately, it comes with a wiring diagram. So to disassemble the plug itself, you have a piece right here which actually crimps down. This screw right here actually tightens the crimp on the cord, the line that you got going in there. But to remove the inner parts of this, you have a little set screw right there. You just loosen that set screw. Isn't that funny how this little tiny set screw keeps this whole thing in place? See, and then that just pops out like that. And then there you have where you secure all your lines. Now this is the other piece that came with this coupler. It came plugged in, but I'm not going to be using this piece. I'm going to be using the wires off of this piece. And so I'm going to just go ahead and eliminate, about this much. Take my side cutters and cut that. So here you got 4 colors. You've got white, which is your neutral or your ground. Now, brown is your running lights, tail lights. Yellow is your left turn signal. Green is your right turn signal, right and left. This is your ground and your brake light and tail light. And then we're adding the addition of blue and white, which is the braking system. So let's get some splicers attached to this assembly, and we'll go ahead and run these wires off of it and install that plug. I already have a splicer attached to this white wire, so we're going to do splicers on the rest of these wires. I don't need a splicer on this blue wire, but I do need one additional one on the white wire. Okay, it's offset. We're going to trim the yellow to right about there. And wire that in there. And close that off. And here's where I'm going to tighten it up a little bit, making it nice and neat. And I'm going to put zip ties on it. And then later, I'll wrap it in electrical tape. Now I want to cut all these wires the same length right here. Same length as the blue one. And now we need to make sure all the wires are separated. Don't forget this step. I've done it in the past. Feed them through the housing of your plug first. Set that. Now you want to set this into the appropriate plug, the connectors. Now look at this, the connectors, I don't know if you could see that, they're labeled. You can see the label of the color where you're going to put it on, because this only goes one way, so we're going to follow the color label. What you do is you loosen your connector screw, and it lets that out, and you want to just shove your wire right down into there. That's all you do, and then you tighten it up. Okay, the first one we'll do is green. Make sure your wires are all twisted together, because you don't want one little strand of wire touching the next lead. So we've got the one next to it is black. We don't have black. To the other side is red. We don't have red. Then we've got white. We'll go ahead and attach the white one and lock that down. And then we have blue is the next one. This is the brake. This is the brake positive is blue. The white is the common, which is the ground through the whole system, both brake and lights. Now you have brown, which is the next one. And here's a point here. This is marked red, but I don't have a red wire. I actually have a yellow wire. But the red for the position of these instructions are for the left rear tail light. And here's my schematics for the wire colors that comes with this wiring harness. So we're going to go ahead and hook this yellow wire to the red, which matches this one as being the left turn and brake signal. It's supposed to be 100 degrees today. I'm getting hot and sweaty, and I think after I finish this project, I will conclude this episode, and then we'll save the wheels, tires, brakes, and now it's supposed to be 100 degrees today. So it's getting a little bit too hot to continue this episode. I'm just going to go finish the wiring harness. That way all the wiring and the lights are done, the decking is on, everything's done except for the wheels, tires, brakes. I just have to inspect the brakes. We've already attached the brakes. But we're going to remove the wheels and inspect the bearings in the next episode. I'll go ahead and save that for the next episode. I also bought some Zerk fittings. We're going to change the Zerk fittings out on the leaf springs, because when you get those freshly lubed, and make sure we have everything up in order. But I'll come out with a 6th episode. Sorry about that, folks, but I'm running out of time, and it is hot. So let's finish this project here. So just to be nice and neat, I'm going to go ahead and put a zip tie on this up here. And I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this in electrical tape. That way it's tightening up, making it nice and neat and pretty. Okay, we'll put this on. Now this has a notch in it, and that notch goes where the set screw is, so this only goes one way. So when you set it in your plug, this set screw, this is going to crimp that down, and it's also going to keep it from pulling the wires out. You just go down as far as you can go so it gets a grip on those wires, and it won't accidentally pull the wires out of the attachments inside. So I'm going to continue wrapping this all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode because the temperatures are climbing up to 100 degrees, and I really don't want to be out here working on this project. We'll wait till this evening, and I'll continue the episode with part 6, and we'll install the tires, but I'll take the old wheels off and we'll go ahead and remove the wheel hubs and inspect the bearings. And if I need to replace the bearings, I will. If they just need re-greasing, we will. I got some grease for them. But also on the leaf springs, we've got these Zerk fittings. I want to go ahead and take the Zerk fittings off that it's on there because they're old. I want to put new ones on. And that way I know the grease is going to get to where it's going. I did buy some grease and I got a grease gun. We're going to go ahead and do the full maintenance on this trailer and make sure that the electric brakes and all the lights work on the next video. So stay tuned for that one. You could do that by subscribing and clicking that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up, like the series, and also click that share button. Sharing our videos on your social media platforms helps out the channel. Leave a comment or a tip. Hey, I learn from your guys' tips. Remember, always be safe, and please, 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 be kind. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.